Flat Earth is falling apart. December 2024, several flat earthers went to Antarctica. The effect of that trip, several prominent flat earthers left flat Earth, and it started a big fight among flat earthers. For several years, flat earthers have tried to use the Bible as a science book, but it don't work so well. One well-known flat earth fool, Nathan Oakley, decided to do his own book. Or is it his book? But don't worry, he's not alone. That's the topic of today, because another flat earther also believes that he can do a flat earth book. Arctic here. I have a question to all flat earthers. It's 5 degrees below 0 Celsius, and do you see any water vapor coming out from my mouth? Strange. Is this a CGI video? Of course not. This is reality if you know anything about cold weather, for instance on Antarctica. It's a well-known fact that this fool on the screen, Nathan Oakley, is working on a book. Before it was together with his friends, his panel, but that collaboration didn't end well. Now he's not friends with, for instance, QE anymore. But now somebody else are planning a book. Let's listen to Nathan.
Now, it's also coming down the grapevine, a few things that people say about their books, like BriansLogic's got a book coming out. Apparently that cat's out of the bag now. But he's very specifically told me his book was about housekeeping. He has copywritten. Now, after being asked by one of my compadres on the panel, the very loyal Neil Constantino, about whether or not his book was about housekeeping, Brian's now saying it isn't.
So Brian Not So Logic is also making a book. Interesting. I will come back to Brian later on in this video.
Now, it can't be both. Obviously, me having a recording of Brian specifically saying, it's about housekeeping, end quote. You'd wonder why I'd say it isn't. We'll have to square this circle some other time, maybe legally, Brian. You little bitch.
So now he's threatening Brian with legal actions. Oh dear.
Meanwhile, Flat Earth debate continues, as does the transcription of my, it will be called, the 6th draft of my book, only for me to add to it with more renditions of individuals that I've encountered over my 10 or 11 years of doing flat earthing. And those anecdotal pieces were originally being excluded from the book to stop people from begging for credit. Well, when your two editors demand credit and demand their names on the front of your book, the cat gets out of the bag and you say, well, it can't hurt to put a load of actual anecdotal stories that are intriguing to the reader. And as my wife pointed out, if it hasn't got anything juicy in it, people will put it down after reading the first page. And you don't want that. You want people to be wanting to turn the next page and hear about, I don't know, transsexual alleged relationship between Antonio Subratz and Patricia Steer, or Bob Nodell having a wire pack crammed up his ass and pretending like he's on a soap opera that, oh no, the cat's out of the bag, my faulty gyro had drift. All of these anecdotal stories that I can rattle off will be part of my book. Now that means name dropping. That might be that we have to change some of the names to protect the innocent, or guilty if we're going to change it to quantum scumbag or whatever I decide to call some of these individuals when I write about them in the 7th draft.
First, I thought that Nathan would make a book that tries to disprove science. But this will be a flat earth gossip book. Oh dear.
But, as I say, I wanted to address it for the audience's benefit, at least at the beginning of this show, so that it's out of the way and I can crack on doing my microphone sales instead of my book sales, which is annoying, in case you're wondering why I'm calling these thieving scumbags bitches and swearing and effing and blinding about them. It's because, as somebody asked me, you sound bitter. I am.
Let's make a quick visit at the other part of this fight, QE.
This is a somber situation, and friendships are going to be lost today. So
who are we having here?
I don't take that lightly.
So, who are the friends here?
We got Adam here, we got Brian, we got Flatsy, and you.
Yes. For now, right. Hey, Brian.
Hello, everyone. I say good to be here. Sorry.
Go ahead, Brian.
I just say I say good to be here, except for this is not an enjoyable endeavor.
Nope.
I think that everybody is sad when friendships are broken up, or that there is some issues that breaks them up apart, right?
No one's lost here. No one's lost here, One Deck. Make no mistake about that, son. Okay? It's your nonsensical bullshittery. You're gonna piss me off already.
Oh, don't. Please don't.
Lost. I'll give you lost already. If I'm lost, you're Helen Keller.
So BriansLogic is making a book of his own, and he has moved from Nathan Oakley's echo chamber to QE. So let's have a look at Brian's latest video, because I'm quite sure this will be a part of his attempt to make a book.
Okay, this video is going to be about this website, Beyond Horizons.
This is a website about long-distance photography, and Brian thinks it's some kind of commercial for the globe. So let's jump a bit into his video.
So then we go into here, which is the visibility facts. Again, we did look at object, now we're looking at refraction. Right, as defined in Wikipedia, refraction is. Now Wikipedia is not a source. That is obviously not a source for refraction, because Wikipedia can be changed by anyone. So Wikipedia, if that's what they're relying upon, is obviously not a source.
Yes, Brian is correct. You must be reading critical when you are using Wikipedia. But this description of refraction you also find in school books and so on.
So, refraction. In our case, this is them. The wave changing direction is the visible light, right? And the transmission medium is atmospheric air. Now, that is some heap of total rubbish. Light is not a wave, right? Mathematically, you can mathematically treat it as a wave in some instances, but it is not a wave, right?
Light behaves like a wave, so you can describe it as a wave.
Direction is the visible light, and the transmission medium is atmospheric air. Atmospheric is begging the question. That is begging the question of a sphere Earth and an atmosphere, right, that surrounds it at pressure in a vacuum. That is all nonsense. It's circular reasoning.
What is he talking about? Is he protesting against the word, or do we not believe that we have an atmosphere? What's Brian's problem, really?
And it has absolutely nothing got to do with refraction.
So the atmosphere have nothing to do with refraction. Do you have any evidence for that statement? Of course, he don't have any evidence at all for his bullshit.
First of all, I'm going to start with light, right? Light is a particle, as proven, right, via Albert Einstein getting the Nobel Prize for his work with the photoelectric effect. He's not responsible for the photoelectric effect, but he's responsible for detailing and explaining it, right, at the time to the greater, community, right? The media and whoever else, right? He's responsible for that. That's what he got the Nobel Prize for. The point is that the photoelectric effect, right, proves, it's not the only thing that proves it, but it alone proves that light is not a wave, it is a particle, a photon, a chunk of energy.
That behaves like a wave. Let's listen to some more of Brian's nonsense regarding light. I will speed this part up.
Right, and the photoelectric effect proves this. I'm not going to go through the photoelectric effect now, you can go through it yourself. It proves this because light has to be a particle for that effect to take place. It does take place, light is a particle. It's that simple. Right? Light as a wave will not cause that effect. Okay, that is one of the main reasons why they know for a fact that light is not a wave. Also, right, one of my own critiques is that waves don't diffuse. Light diffuses. That's why you get the inverse square law. How does the inverse square law, how does that adhere to a wave? It doesn't. Right? Waves don't diffuse. But look, I could go on about that longer and longer, but the point being is that you can go to the photoelectric effect, the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment, and other. Like, it's a known fact, right, that by those who study it within quantum mechanics, that light is not a wave, it's a particle. I mean, the photoelectric effect was a big driving force of quantum mechanics. Do you know what I mean? Quantum mechanics only exists as it is because they found this out. That allowed them to go further, right? Because they had a different mindset then. So the whole wave nature of light is wrong, right? Otherwise, the photoelectric effect wouldn't exist. Simple as that. Anyway, point is, this is all wrong, right? There is no wave of light, right? That's rubbish.
This is basically the same nonsense that flat earthers have when they try to debunk gravity. The fact that gravity is not a force, but it can be treated like a force. It's the same with light, and that they can be seen as a wave.
So we move on. Air temperature varies along the height. Decrease the height would that be off a horizontal plane. Decreasing from surface to tropopause, approximately at 11,000 meters above sea level. Yeah, what they're talking about there is roughly 10 meters, roughly 9-10 miles above sea level, another horizontal. And they're talking about how the temperature changes. It starts getting warmer after that. Now, that's a major issue for people who think it's a globe. Right? Not an issue for those who understand things, but it's an issue for those who think it's a globe. Not for me as a flat earther, that's not an issue.
And why would the temperature difference between heights be a problem for the globe, but not for flat Earth? Did he explain it? Of course not.
But point being is that that's what they're referring to, as it's warmer closer to the surface and cools down up to about 10 miles up, right? I think it's about 10 miles up, it's about minus 51 degrees, something like that. Okay, this temperature change modifies air properties. Does it? No, air is still air. Specifically, it changes density, and so it changes its refractive index. It changes refractive index, does it? No, the refractive index of air is the refractive index of air. That's not correct. It doesn't change its refractive index, because that's not what the refractive index is based upon. Right? The refractive index is based upon the speed, right, that light will take through a medium. That's what the refractive index is based upon.
The molecules in warm air moves more than in cold air, and therefore take more space. So you can say cold air is heavier, and warm air can hold more water vapor. So, what have happened? Brian have left, Nathan mute button Oakley, and went to QE. Nathan is trying to write a book. QE have stolen the book, or have he? And Brian try to spread his wisdom in his own book. The state of flat Earth is very bad. They have no scientific evidence. They can't use the Bible as proof, so they make their own books containing their fairy tales. And instead of making their own research and observations, they spend their time infighting among flat Earth. Okay, that was all I had for you this time. I hope I will be faster to make the next video. So until then, have a nice day. See you soon. Bye.